Welcome to Fallout 76. This is Jim. In this video, we're going to take a look at completing daily challenges for today, Thursday, January the 9th, 2025. Let's take a look at and see what we got for today. Alright, we got some good ones here. I have many videos on my channel that will help you guys out. I give you different ideas, different locations, easy areas, hard areas that were there if you're brand spanking new player to the game. You're a returning player, even if you're an experienced player, there's a particular daily, weekly challenge that's giving you a hard time or trouble. I'm sure you'll find a video on my channel that will help you. Try to keep my videos as updated as I possibly can. And of course, you guys are awesome with great comments and tips, which are greatly appreciated. Okay, if you are wondering why I have a little bit more score than you, if you take a look at the top right-hand corner of the screen, I have a 25% boost going on right now. Of course, I claimed that 25% right off the current Season 19 Season Pass on 3 pages, a 5%, a 10%, and another 10% equaling 25%. So just an FYI. Alright, let's take a look at this one here. First, build a generator in a shelter. So just in case if you're unaware, you can get yourself a free shelter here in the game. You make your way up here to Vault 51. Now, if you are a lower level player, I would say the hardest part is making your way up here. Once when you do, there's a little quest. It's only about 5-7 minutes long. And at the end of that quest, you get yourself a free shelter as well as a little generator that goes with the shelter and a couple other little decorations as well, which is pretty awesome. I actually did this little quest some time ago with my new low-level character. Maybe I think it was this past summer. So you can check that out just in case you're having a little issues with it. But it's fairly straightforward. Now, if you're a returning player, if you made your way all the way to rank 100 on Season 13 scoreboard, back when we had scoreboards, you would get yourself a free shelter there as well. And if you paid for Fallout First just for 1 month and 1 month only, then you canceled it and you claimed the Vault Lobby shelter, you'll always have that shelter even though you don't pay for Fallout First anymore. So just an FYI there too. Alright, let's go inside of our shelter here. That's a pretty good picture there. Alright, we're inside of our shelter. And of course, we have to build a generator. So let's go ahead and go to our build menu. Let's go to the generator section. Now, of course, it all depends on what type of generator you want to build. It's up to you. Now, this one here in particular is the one you get for free by going up to Vault 51. It's just an FYI. Let's go ahead and put them right there on the wall. Done, just like that. Build a generator in the shelter, 1 for 1, done, just like that. Easy. All right, let's pop back out of the old shelter here. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Eat dog food 5. So in this one here in particular, it's talking about canned dog food. It's not talking about going out and kill a bunch of canines and then cooking up the meat. It's talking about canned dog food, okay? So for those of you who are maybe returning from the game, the last time we had the Graham Meat Cook here in town, some of us were able to get our hands on this pretty awesome camp resource as a plan from completing the event, and it's called the Weenie Wagon. Now, some people were actually selling them. Some people actually have even found them in donation boxes, and it's a real good camp resource. One, you don't have to use atoms or caps. You just get it for completing the event, Graham's Meat Cook. It's pretty awesome if you ever happen to go get your hands on it. And as you can see, it'll passively collect 12 cans of dog food while you play the game, which is pretty awesome. Now, you will find some people who have these weenie wagons, they'll actually sell canned dog food in their vendor. So you can actually go after other players' vendors on public servers. And most people will sell it for only like 1 cap each. So that's a pretty good idea as well. Now, in terms of finding canned dog food, we can find canned dog food off of Scorched, off of Ghouls, just randomly, of course. Mama Doch's here in Morgantown is probably one of the best spots. Again, depends on the server that you're on. It's not 100% guaranteed, but they will spawn there. Just kind of keep that in mind. I've actually found quite a few up here before at Tyler County Fairgrounds. We found some down here at Camden Park. And even some around here at Lewisburg, right around the picnic table area. But again, you know, canned dog food just kind of randomly pop up, right? Let's make our way to... Last time we went to Mama Doch's, and there are a couple cans there. There used to be a lot of cans there, like those of you who played the game like when it first was released, and There was so much canned dog food there, it wasn't even funny, but I find nowadays nowhere's near as much as before. Let's pop over here to Tyler County Fairgrounds this time and see what we can find. Okay, now there are going to be some scorched here as well. Just kind of keep that in mind. So we do have another daily challenge while we are here. It says kill a creature 12. Okay, so we're going to kind of do these two at the same time. So kill a creature, basically anything but a human or a robot. Okay, so basically scorched, ghouls, cryptids, mole miners, super mutants, insects. Even if you go down through Flatwoods and all the Brahmin and the opossum and the mole rats that are down through there, those are also considered creatures, those animals. Right? So just an FYI, anything but a human or a robot. And in this case, we're going to be trying our luck here at the Tyler County Fairgrounds and go after the scorch. So you're going to see that pop up as well. Now my camp was attacked by a couple ghouls, and that's why it shows 4 or 12 done already, just in case you guys are wondering. And at the same time, we'll look for I'll show you the places where you can spot out the canned dog food. And it's usually right around this area right here, this little picnic table area. Again, oh, like that, canned dog food right there. And again, always remember, it is totally random, okay? There's sometimes I come here and I can find maybe 3 or 4 cans of dog food. Sometimes it's other types of pre-war food, so it really depends on the server that you're on. So just kind of keep that in mind. And even Mama Doches. Now, Mama Doches isn't 100% as much as we like to think it is. It is not 100% when you server hop. And of course, when you pick something up, like if we pick this up like this, okay? Basically, until we reset our game, this will not respawn in, which means we'll have to pick up 250 or 255 items for that to kind of spawn back in again, or some sort of pre-war food in this location, okay? I usually find this picnic table pretty good as well. Now, right now, there's a pork and beans here today, so just an FYI. We're going to go after these scorched. Alright, so let's pop on the other side here, where I'll show you another pretty decent spot here at Tyler County Fairgrounds where we can find canned dog food. And it's right in this area right here. It's usually right along here. You just kind of check these chairs. Sometimes there's boiled water, sometimes there's purified water, sometimes there's Nuka-Cola along here, but again, not much luck here on this particular server. Even private servers like what I'm on now isn't 100% guaranteed, okay? So just an FYI. And again, if you are having a hard time, you can always try Mama Doches. You may have to server hop a couple of times, but just kind of keep in mind that other people have the same challenge, and this place could be cleaned right out server after server. So just kind of keep that in mind. But if you can get your hands on some canned dog food by maybe visiting other players' vendor, or if you have the weenie wagon, that's probably a good way to do it. So let's go ahead. We're going to finish this off by eating the canned dog food here. There we go. Right, let's go and finish this off here, and we're going to look at that gear. Nice. We're going to go after the rest of these scorched. There's our Nuka-Cola. Look at that little guys back there. Bobblehead lock. Nice. If you're looking for a bobblehead, this is a bobblehead spawn location. Sometimes if you don't see it here, sometimes it kind of gets stuck in behind there. It's just a good way there. So look at that, we get a Nuka-Cola classic and a cherry right there. I'm gonna pick this guy up over here because he was kind of wandering around there, wasn't he? Oh, maybe he moved around. So there is a rad roach in here. Let's get the rad roach so you can see how that counts. Kill a creature. Again, a really good way, like if you're really low level and you really don't want to get out of Flatwoods, you can just stick in Flatwoods and kill all the Brahmin, kill the opossums that are there, and that should satisfy the daily. For the low level folk. Maybe the low levels are kind of new to the game as well. Alright, there we go. Kill a creature, 12 for 12 done. Now, Again, you don't have to come here like I am. You get if you want, whatever you want to do. But again, you know, as long as it's not a human or a robot going after creatures, you're good to go. Let's get something to drink here real quick. There we go. Alright, what's next? Kill Blood Eagle 10. Many great spots we can find Blood Eagle in around the wasteland. This particular icon right here. And again, the forest area, the crosshair is pretty decent. Twin Pine Cabins. Hunter's Ridge. Of course, we have good old Blood Eagle Alley, I like to call it. Starts down here at the Sludge Works. Roland's Labor Camp. Widow's Perch. Killbox. Make your way up this little mountain range here. The Pigsty. Cliffwatch. South Cutthroat Camp. And right along this little highway here, we have the Seneca Game Camp. We have the ammo dump up here. You have good old Bloody Frank's over here. Dagger's Den's, pretty decent spot. Crimson Prospect. So there's all kinds of great options there for some Blood Eagles. Depending on where you are on the map, you can always try those out. Let's pop up here to the crosshair. We haven't been up here for quite a while, so let's pop up here. And again, if you're a person that doesn't like the fast travel, you can, you know, go to one of those locations I just showed you. If you haven't discovered them yet, you know, we'll give you the rough general area anyway. There should be about 5 or 6 of these guys on the outside here. This guy hiding here. Huh. Right on. Alright, let's pick everything up here. Nice. Now, back in the day, this never existed, this little hideout here. For those of you who remember, this is like within a year old, this little hideout here. And we can find the rest of them inside here. Now, there's also going to be 2 mole miners in here, so just kind of keep that in mind. I suggest go after the mole miners before they kill the few Blood Eagles that are left in here. Over there, I'll save a server hop. Oh, how you doing? Wow. Jeez, where'd you guys come from, eh? Right, there we go. Oh, nice. Nice little spot there. Some rounds up while we're here. Why not, right? Alright, cool. I was hoping to find some canned dog food in here as well, but fortunately not today. Okay. What is next? Sell ski sword to an NPC vendor 1. So you can craft your own ski sword, but of course you gotta have the plan for that. I think there's a weapons workbench in here, wasn't there? Yeah, there is. So you can craft your own. Once when you get the plan, let's go ahead and check that out. Of course, it'll be under the edge melee weapons. Right down your ski sword right there. And of course, you will need makeshift warrior rank 5 in order to craft it. It's just an FYI, you can do it that way. Once you get your, if you want to craft it that way, you can just sell it to an NPC vendor. And we can find free ski swords in around the wasteland. Right over here is White Powder Winter Sports upstairs. There'll be at least 1 or 2 up there. Pleasant Valley Ski Resort. There's usually a couple around there, and right in around the vendor bought resin. Pretty good spot there. And usually in around the Pleasant Valley Cabins, there's usually a couple of ski swords around there as well. Now, the last time we did this, we actually went to White Powder Winter Sports. So this time we're going to go to Pleasant Valley Ski Resorts. Let's pop over here. And again, there'll be some scorched here also. So you can actually go after the kill a creature here if you so wish, and go after your ski sword. Whatever you want to do. So many different ways we can do these challenges, okay? And sometimes we can go to one area and finish off 2 or 3, and ideally that's definitely a good way of doing it. You don't have to, but whatever you want to do, if you want to save some time. For myself, I usually refrain from doing that as much as possible, just because I like to kind of give as many options as possible to people and try out different areas, but it's always good to mention that there. That people can utilize one-stop shops, like they kind of call them. I know there's a lot of stuff we can do at White Springs, and you know, you can probably, if you have the right dailies, you can probably take care of, you know, most of your dailies at White Springs. Alright, so we do have some composite skis here, but with no ski sword yet. It's always good to kind of check these racks here. There's a couple racks up here as well. I think they're just composite skis. Yeah, they are. So we're going to go right down to where vendor bought resin is. We don't have to buy it from vendor bought resin, of course. It should be right on the shelf. A little overweight there, aren't I? Must be picking up quite a bit of weapons. Let's take a carry weight booster here. Just got one just the other day for free in the atomic shop. Okay, we're gonna head downstairs here, and I believe his name vendor bought resin. Yeah, vendor bought resin. Nice. So there's usually a couple of ski swords here. There's one right here. This guy, this mannequin has one right there in their hand. Pretty good spot. And look at that, we got some bubble gum there. If you're ever looking for bubble gum, chew a bubblegum daily challenge, or eat a cake, pie, or candy, this bubblegum is a good spawn. Another ski sword right there, so there's all kinds of ski swords here. Pretty good spot. Now what are we going to do with the ski sword gem? Sell it to an NPC vendor, so basically any robot vendor at any train station will do, okay? Even right down here at the White Springs Mall, any robot vendor down here. So if you go to the north entrance, you go inside, takes you right down to the mall. You can also use this entrance here, but it's just an additional loading screen. Right here in good old Flatwoods, we have the robot vendor in the White Church. We have good old Duchess up here at the Wayward. Sometimes our camps get visited by traveling merchants. They're also considered NPC vendors. We're just going to sell it right to this cat here. Good old vendor bought resin. Sell the ski sword to him. There we go. Sell a ski sword to an NPC vendor. 1 for 1 done. So here you can, you know, do a couple things, right? As I mentioned, one-stop shop. Nope. Okay. If you're ever wondering, subscriber of mine, Jeremy, and I were talking about this the other day. If you ever see these porta diners, I always kind of click on it. And I think I got my first one last year, but Jeremy just got his just the other day, the very first time. And I think he said he's like level 600 or something like that. But the way you can tell is that little claw, when it kind of jiggles a little bit, that's how you know it's going to grab it. But when it goes down smooth like that, it'll miss every time, but it's got a jiggle, so it almost like kind of resets itself and then goes down. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Right, what's next here? Complete an Event 1. If you take a look at the description, there's a link to a video called Complete Events for Newbies. And basically, you don't have to be a newbie to watch that video. And the vast majority of the events we do, we spawn in by ourselves on a private server. Now we can spawn in events on public ones as well. It's just a little bit harder because if you get on a server right fresh, the server could be fairly old, so somebody could have spawned in the events that you're trying to spawn in already. There's usually a little cooldown associated for when it was going to spawn back in, so just going to keep that in mind. It can be a little bit more difficult to spawn them in. However, it is possible. You guys have seen me do it many a times. Okay, And that's just in case you get on a server. Sometimes you've been on those servers where there's just nothing going on, or there's an event that you just don't want to do. Okay, so that's why I made that video. We have Dogwood Die Off up here. What else we got? We have the Drop Connection and Enclave event. I think that's Monster Mash. Yeah, that's a good one there too. Lots of candy you get for that guy there. You get that little mask for a brief period of time. What else we got here? Oh, we have a mole rat horde down here in the ash heap. Alright, cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and check that one out. We're going to spawn down here. Now, two things can happen when you come across one of these hordes. You'll spawn right into the horde itself, or other times you'll have to go and try to find the horde. And lucky for us, we have the horde boss right here in front of us. And I highly suggest you take care of the horde boss first, because if you don't, he'll just keep spawning in. At least see that? He'll keep spawning in more enemies, right? Oh, is he up here? Oh my lord. He hightailed it out of there, didn't he? Right there. Nice. Right, so just make sure you kill the horde boss. Usually it is a legendary. Lucky for us, it's just a bunch of mole rats, so these guys are pretty squishy. For the most part, anyway. It's a good way to get some XP too. Like if you're a lower level character and you go after some of these hordes, like every server will have them, and you don't kill the boss, because the boss will just kind of keep spawning more and more in. And oh gee, he laid it all the way down there. And that's something you can always do if you want to get some extra XP. Take a couple lunch boxes there. No way, well let me pick that up. There we go. All right. Good stuff. What is next? Actually, let's head back to our camp, and we'll finish off this last daily. All right. Back here at the old camp here. Let's turn the light on so we see what we're doing here. Consume an alcoholic beverage while on a team. Okay. Now you can be on a team by yourself. You can be on a team with other people. Whatever you want to do. So that is one stipulation. And then it has to be an alcoholic beverage. So there's a couple different areas we can get alcoholic beverages. I find the Wayward a pretty good spot. Usually there's 3 downstairs on a table. A vodka, a bourbon, and a rum. And if you head upstairs, there's 3 more on the table upstairs. Now, if you collected them recently, you may have to reset their game if they're not there. Or if you're on a public server and you haven't collected them lately, somebody else could have already have taken them. So you can only server hop that, but that is a pretty good spawn for alcoholic beverages. I find the kill box pretty decent as well downstairs in the dining room area. And most spots where you find human enemies, such as blood eagles, such as cultists, and even down here at the communists down here, Camp Liberty. But it doesn't have to be those particular 2 spots, okay? I'm just using those icons. So anywhere you see a blood eagle or a cultist, you'll find some alcoholic beverages around, usually. I find Point Pleasant pretty decent as well. Now you can craft your own alcoholic beverages if you so wish. Of course, you will need a brewing station for this. You don't even need a fermenter, just a brewing station. And if you don't have a brewing station, you have to complete the side quest called Wasted on Nukashine. And I did complete that quest a couple months ago with a member, Mr.Prince. We start down here at Big Al's Tattoo Parlor, and right on the back door there'll be a poster. You interact with the poster and it'll start the quest Wasted on Nukashine. And at the very end of that quest, you'll automatically learn the plan for both the brewing station and the fermenter. They aren't plans that you have to go under notes and manually learn. You just automatically learn them at the end of that little side quest. There's just an FYI. So here's a brewing station here. Alright, so you can craft some fermentable beer. And again, I always recommend having corn and razor grain in your camp just to kind of save some time. You don't need a whole lot of it, just a little bit, because corn and razor grain, of course, will add to that camp budget. But you can always kind of have a little bit of corn, a little bit of razor grain, just to kind of open up your chances for these daily, weekly challenges and getting them done nice and quick. All right, but it's really up to you what you want to do. So it can just be a fermentable beer, for example. Now, if you were around not that long ago, last season we got our hands on this brewing vat. I believe it was season 18, and I did do a little video on it there. Now, this is a camp resource. Again, it will passively collect different types of alcoholic beverages. However, they are the fermentable kind. You'll have to put them in the fermenter. However, for this daily challenge, you don't have to. You can just drink them as is, and they're just going to give you a lot of rads, that's all. So let's grab this fermentable beer, and that'll be the same type of fermentable beer that you would get when you craft it by yourself at the brewing station, okay, without putting it in the fermenter, okay? So that is an option if you have one of those. And again, I usually kind of highlight camp resources here in my videos just because of the sheer easiness of it. I know there's people out there that like to do things the old-fashioned way, and there's definitely nothing wrong with that. But there's also, quite a few people that like to get things done nice and quick. All right, so I usually kind of always like to mention about those camp resources. Now, at the end of the day, you can't find alcoholic beverages that save your life. You don't have time to craft them. You can buy them. Okay, so usually most vendors will sell them. If you have a traveling merchant or even the odd camp ally, they'll also sell the odd alcoholic beverage as well. We're going to go right down here to the north entrance here in White Springs. We're going to go right downstairs to the mall. And again, you can use the other entrance, the front door entrance. It's just an additional loading screen to get down here. And again, this is the last resort, or it's a resort you just want to do just to get her done nice and easy. And these alcoholic beverages don't cost a whole lot of caps. Look at that, 2 oak holler lager. You see 11 caps each. I don't think she sells anything. We know Frederick won't sell that for sure. This guy's got a couple of vodka on him. Nice. A couple of bourbon. Blackwater brews, you can see. Not very expensive. Try this guy here. The Raiders guy is usually pretty decent. Mountain Honey. Oak Holler Lager. 45 whiskey. Look at that. 45 whiskey on this cat. And this is a private server. Pretty awesome, eh? Now, those are your options for alcoholic beverages. So, as I mentioned, before you drink them, you have to be on a team. And again, be on a team by yourself, or be on a team with another player, whatever you want to do. We're going to go social. We're going to create our own team here. Just casual's fine. We're on a private server. We're on a team by yourself. We're going to drink some alcoholic beverages here. We're going to start off with that fermentable. You can find it here. We're going to try out that fermentable beer. So again, this is what you would get from the brewing vat, or if you craft a fermentable beer at your brewing station without using the fermenter. All right, so it's like that. Nice. 1 for 5. All right, let's go ahead here. We're just going to, I have usually carry quite a bit of stuff on me, as most of you know. And I'm just going to drink these alcoholic beverages here. There we go. Consuming alcoholic beverage while on a team, 5 for 5. But again, the most important part is you have to be on a team either by yourself or with other people. All right. I think we're done. We are just like that. Nice. All right, weapon of the day, seeing how we're here in White Springs. Where am I going? Yeah, there we go. Lost my bearings there for a second. Weapon of the day, Jim. Wow. Everything looks the same down here. Using this fixer right here. If not in combat, plus 100% VATS accuracy, at plus 50% action point cost. Projectiles explode for plus 20% weapon damage, plus 15 bonus VATS critical charge, plus 40% armor penetration, plus 100% sneaking speed, plus 15% stealth and shadows. It's a Stalker's Explosive Lucky. Mods I have is the powerful automatic receiver, stabilized short barrel, true stock, perforating magazine, reflex sight dot suppressor, and this awesome looking rustic paint. Oh yeah, 83 damage and takes 45 ammo. Of course, it is a fully automatic weapon. So under perception, we have a Master Commando, Commando, Expert Commando all maxed out, Tank Killer, Concentrated Fire, Suppressor, Tenderizer, Covert Operative, Evasive, White Knight, and Adrenaline. Of course, these random luck cards here, and you guys see those popping up when they are activated, which of course is pure luck and random. But I'll be honest with you guys, I'm pretty impressed of these level 1-star perk cards, as they pop up quite often for me, and yeah, highly recommend it. Legendary perk cards here, these guys don't change for me, they all stay the same, and they're all maxed out. Just like that. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and share when you have the chance. It really helps me out. I'd like to thank my channel members, Artistically Arranged, Michael Edwards, Nigel Wiffen, Heather, Whitetribe, Robco, Mr. Shelton, Drake Stamps, Mr.Prince, NotMeButMeYesMeThatsMe, Drew, Andrew, Demon, Confoundedbridge, Ghost Primus, Corne van Niekerk, Ben Durant, John, DJ59. Thank you all so very much, and I hope you all have a nice day.